Scottsdale Foreclosures, my top 10 rules. Hi, my name is Terry S. Smith, Arizona resident for 48 years. I grew up in Scottsdale. Very fortunate to have grown up in Scottsdale, Arizona. So today I'm going to go over the top 10 rules if you're thinking about buying any foreclosure in Arizona. It doesn't matter if it's Scottsdale, Mesa, Tempe, Chandler, Gilbert. They all follow the same steps. I think the number one thing that people need to understand on foreclosures is time is of the essence. I know that's true in a normal contract, but especially with a foreclosure. You definitely want to get all your financial documents in order. The bank is going to expect proof of funds if you're in all cash. A lot of these foreclosures are all cash. If you don't have proof of funds, you can't get proof of funds. You've got proof of funds in 15 different accounts. You're going to have a tough time buying a foreclosure. They're going to require a copy of the earnest money check. They're not asking you to give the earnest money check over right away, but as soon as you get all of the paperwork back from the asset manager, they're going to give you 24, maybe 48 hours to open escrow. They want to make sure there's money in that account. The two biggest mistakes I see people make is they are using a home equity line of credit. They have not tapped the home equity line of credit. They don't have a bank statement saying that they have this amount of money in their account. So they write an offer. It gets accepted. It comes back. The asset manager is giving you a deadline to, send back all of the everything that they're requesting. Most of the hang-ups are in the financial documents. These people are not ready to write an offer on a bank-owned property foreclosure. You can expect your original offer will definitely be countered with the banks, and this is really important. The bank has their own they call them addenda. There's no way if you write an offer, the bank's going to accept your offer. If you try to counter anything with the bank, they will just reject you, and you're not going to be buying this property. You have to be patient. This is really not probably for typical Scorpio. I know I work with a lot of Scorpios and love them. They are not patient people. So if you're a Scorpio, you need to know this might take a week or more to get your offer accepted, back with the addendums from the asset manager. What are they going to counter? What are they going to counter? Basically anything to do with money. They're going to remove paying most of the items required to close a property. HOA transfer fees, impact fees, inspections, repairs. Some even make the buyer turn on the utilities, and then you got to turn them off. So these are some tough customers here. They're going to require a copy of your earnest money check. They're going to require, and they don't ask for this, they say, if you don't send this to us, then we just reject your offer and we'll go sell it to somebody else. They require proof of funds, no older, and this is critical, no older than 30 days. I see a lot of people will send in, account statements with stocks and bonds and stuff that's 6 months old. The bank's just going to reject it. And this goes back to time is of the essence. Every time they reject it or every time they counter and say, send us this, send us that, your 10-day inspection is ticking down. So you might actually get to a point where once you're back and forth because you did not have all your ducks in a row, you got 1 day to do an inspection or 2 days. And then your inspector can't come on that day or that weekend if it falls on a weekend. Now you're in trouble. So this is what a lot of people don't understand. Asset managers they're paid employees of the bank, and they're not going to piecemeal sign your contract and then counter your contract and you sign their addenda and then they don't do that. They don't play that game. these are not like a normal sale. The asset manager will only sign all the paperwork at one time. That's it. Bank will not allow any repairs before close of escrow. I sold a foreclosure that was on a HUD, and no, it wasn't a HUD because it was one of those I think it was Bank of America, and they needed repairs to be able to meet the guidelines. You know, it had some chipped paint and this and that. Well, the bank will not allow any repairs before close of escrow, especially so that you can qualify for the loan to buy the bank-owned property. They will not allow that. They're not going to allow any repairs. The banks will not allow any prepossessions. So I highly recommend, if you're moving in, say you're moving in on Friday, October 1st, that's your close of escrow. And you've got all the movers and everybody lined up for Saturday. That's risky business. I really would encourage you to have all of the movers and everything lined up for like a Monday. I know it's not pretty. This is the reason I do not like to close at the end of the month. Probably the worst thing you can do is close on the 31st or the 30th of the month. The banks don't like it because the title companies are overworked, underpaid. The banks go and basically hire whoever's the cheapest, and they give them all their deals. So probably the number one tip I can give you is try to close a week before the end of the month. In the middle of, like, if it's there's 31 days in a month, close on the 24th, 25th, 26th. Don't wait till the 31st. I've seen a lot of problems with that. I know what I'm talking about. I'm a former buyer's agent for the Blair Group. In 2008, we sold $22 million in REOs. So I've seen I've seen this so many times, and this is the reason I put my top 10 rules. I'm just trying to help you not make any mistakes. If I've seen 100 of these deals, more than 100. And a lot of them are because I would say the number one thing is they don't have their ducks in a row financially. They've got money scattered all over the place. Here's another thing: banks will charge a per diem. Per diem basically means a daily charge if there's any delay in closing on your part. So, and I'm seeing a lot of pushback from banks that don't want to give up the money. So they play games. Instead of wiring the money, they'll actually send it in the check, or they'll send it to the wrong address, or they'll put the wrong name on there, and then the check comes back. If they're wiring money, they have a fat finger and they get one of the numbers wrong. I see a lot of this hanky-panky monkey business with the banks. So I like to see people get things done 2 or 3 days before close of escrow. At a minimum. I like to see it a week before. Banks on a cash deal will give you 30 days to close. And after that, they're probably going to charge you a per diem. This is really critical. If you go in there and say, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that, I'm not paying for HOA transfer fees, or I'm not giving them proof of funds, or I'm not tapping my home equity line of credit until the day of close, you're not buying the property. They're going to tell you go pound sand and they'll sell it to somebody else. So I hope this helps. I put it together because I'm really frustrated when I work with buyers that are buying foreclosures and they really don't understand the steps. And it's my responsibility to explain to them how this thing works. It's totally different than buying a normal traditional property with a home seller and a home buyer. It's totally different. They're not even close to being the same. So if you have any questions, you can call me Terry S. as in Sam Smith. 602-763-1858. 602-763-1858. Or you can email me if you have a quick question. Terry S. Smith at iCloud.com. Terry S. Smith at iCloud.com. Thanks. Have a great day.